Welcome to Nights at Mausoleum Manor, a true horror story podcast by MultiJames95. If you're new to my channel, please click the subscribe button and notification bell to get more updates on contents like this. Are you familiar with Ozone Disco? Many of us are. It has been ranked as one of the world's worst nightclub fires ever. In this time that happened, there were 162 deaths and hundreds more of injuries. The year 2021 marks 25 years since it happened, and we're so lucky to have this incident featured as the first episode of our podcast. What has happened all over the years? But still, the area is a paranormal hotspot. Restless spirits, lost souls. What more could I say? Paranormal TV shows such as ABS-CBN's Nginig and Lihim ng Gabi featured the incident in one of their episodes. Unique Salonga made a song about it, a love song set amidst the fire. Oh, and Case Unclosed, GMA 7's former docudrama series, also had this as its pilot episode. Well, we do have some stories about this, scary stories of course. Here's one: networking. The man who made this story and experienced it on his own account in real life asks that we name him only as Jess and not use his full name for privacy reasons. This is one frightening experience he had back in 2009. That year, he and his sibling were invited to a networking meeting at the El Terrazo Mall near the Boy Scout Monument. He parked his motorcycle in front of the abandoned Ozone Disco building and covered it with some tin sheets, or what you call in the Filipino language as hierro, to keep it hidden before he and his sibling went to the meeting. Night fell, and the meeting lasted long. Jess felt tired and almost sleepy, so he decided to take a break outdoors and let his sibling continue with the meeting. He went to the Ozone Disco area to check his motorcycle to see if it is still secure. Well, indeed, it was still secure. No one had attempted to thieve on it or steal it, or commit a grand theft auto or motor vehicle theft. He needed that motorcycle to get back home with his sibling. A group of 5 male youths sporting 1990s attire and hairstyle came walking towards him. One of the 5, the eldest of them, asked Jess, "Sir, are you familiar with this area or this district?" And Jess replies, "No, I'm not familiar with this place. I'm just a first timer here, and it's my first time visiting this place. I don't know much of this area either. None of the districts here are familiar to me." Their conversation lasted 5 minutes long when the youths decided to enter the Ozone Disco building, engulfed in darkness. "Why are you entering that place? What's there?" asked Jess. But none of the youths replied. One by one, they disappeared like bubbles. Using a flashlight that he kept with him wherever he goes, Jess turned it on and inspected the interiors of the building to find no person in it nor any other exit besides the main entrance. Now fear is about to embrace him. His heart pounds as he rushes out of the building to meet up with a candy and cigarette vendor. The two of them struck a conversation, to which Jess asked Rod, sir, have you seen any of the youths I spoke with earlier to which they went somewhere into that building? But the vendor replied, I saw no one there except you, talking to yourself in front of that abandoned ozone disco. This is when fear got the best of him fully, as Jess knew the story long ago. He was exposed to many stories like this, but this was the first time he experienced the fear of being there.
This next story that you're about to hear comes from the Manila Bulletin. It's entitled Ghosts of the Past. Another ozone true horror story. Let's listen to it, shall we?
October 1997. A few minutes before the bell rang to signal the start of the semestral break, the audiovisual professor of one university, who also produced documentary films for one of the country's television networks, narrated a story that made every rowdy student silent and attentive. This is the story that changed their lives forever. Don't forget to watch our feature story on the Ozone Disco Club tragedy on the 31st of October. He said, with a voice modulating to echo in every corner of the room. We take you back in time to what this professor had gone through 7 months after the tragic fire incident that killed 162 people before midnight of March 18, 1996. Since there were rumors that ghosts showed up and crying voices can be heard at the burned establishment, we decided to make a feature story on Halloween. So I sent our camera crew to Ozone with hopes to get actual footage of the restless souls and record their cries. But well, they failed. But our camera crew told us a hair-raising story. He started. Our crew went to Ozone before noon. While on their way inside, some bystanders were able to follow them. They called their attention and asked them gently to go outside because they are the only ones permitted to be there, since they had coordination with the authorities. Good thing the bystanders willingly obliged to what was told to them. Step aside. Only this camera crew and this news team are allowed to enter the burnt establishment. Apart from the eerie shades of black and gray, our crew captured the burned DJ booth, where the fire started and the ceiling went down, sandwiching the disco goers. The small exit door that wasn't used and could have saved more lives, and the door to the entrance, which is the main reason why many guests were trapped in the hellish disco house. He narrated, the door that he was referring to had a one-way opening. Push if you're outside, pull in your inside. Since most of the guests ran to this door, the ones who were in it in front were not able to open this door, for they got pressed before they got to pull it. How scary. But our cameramen were persistent. He continued, hoping to get something for a Halloween special feature. They decided to go back after dinner. When they were shooting inside, they noticed that there were bystanders again, standing a few feet behind them. Our main cameraman asked his assistant to tell them that they were not allowed to watch the shooting, and so he did call him out.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, this is a closed filming. You're not allowed to observe. Please. This might cause a lot of attention and catch a lot of people and impede the traffic. Please, you must go somewhere else. You're not allowed to watch here.
He called out, but no one even moved a muscle and was still staring at them. So he called out again in an earnest voice.
Ladies and gentlemen, please. This is a closed shooting. It's a closed set. We're not allowed to be hanging around here. If I were you, I'd suggest that you just observe from outside or go somewhere else because it might impede traffic. The attention that you're also making is going to impede the traffic. Please, we're begging you. This is a closed set. Please.
But then, someone had talked with a gentle voice.
We can't go out. We can't go out. We can't open the door. Help! Help! Help!
These words slowly faded, like an echo. The assistant attempted to shout, but there was no sound coming out from his mouth. He trembled and went back to his colleague and told him to turn around the camera. But when they turned around, no one was there. All the time they were filming their Halloween special, they were the only humans present inside Ozone. The professor ends his story with that. The campus bell rang again after our professor stopped talking. We were all shocked and sudden. Some had fell off their seats. Some fainted. Some cried. Everyone said, "That's scary. What can we do?" Well, there's only one thing that everyone has to do. Pray for the poor souls of the people who were trapped there. Believe in one God. Call upon Him. He knows that you need His help, and He'll provide it to you. Have faith in Him. And for those who may not believe in Him, pray that they will soon believe in Him. This is James 95, and I thank you for watching and listening to this podcast for the night. Good night and pleasant dreams, listeners.
Hey James 95 fam, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel, and we are now on Patreon and PayPal, so if you wish to donate or support James 95, the links to Patreon and PayPal are in the description. Thank you once more and see you again next video.